Hi, welcome back. In this tutorial, we will write some data into a database. To do this, we will use a MySQL query function. Now you can see here that we have our records. I'm redoing this tutorial because the first time I did it, it did not work. So first of all, I will just delete this data here. Well, okay, so we have a blank table. We have no data in our table whatsoever at the moment. We can see that there is nothing in here. There are just our field names here. To begin with, in here, let's just comment this. So write some data, then we will set up a query that will write data. So write, and we will use MySQL query function, and this takes exactly one parameter, which is our SQL query. To do this, we will type insert to insert data. We're going to say insert into. Now the reason I've typed this in capitals is because it's SQL code. If I type anything in uppercase, it means it is SQL code. If I type anything in lowercase, it means it's either a table name, database name, or it is data that I'm writing to the database. So insert into people, because that is our table name here. Insert into people and then values, and then in brackets we will create a little area for each value. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 fields, so we need exactly 5 pieces of database written here. We need the ID, first name, last name, all the way down to gender. These are created in or created using single quotes, each separated by commas. The reason we don't use double quotes is because we've got these at the end, or rather start and an end over here. We don't need to insert our ID here. Our next one is first name, so I'll say Alex. My last name I'll say is Gareth. For my date of birth, I'll create a date function which equals to a variable date. I'll put this in the particular structure. We can see from our database over here that when we go to insert a value, we can scroll down and see that a calendar function has dates on it. So on clicking 23rd, we can see the structure this field takes. It's a year in long format. Next is the month and then the day. So 2009-02-23, which is 23rd of the 2nd 2009. So what we can do here is we can structure our date function in capital Y, M and then D using hyphen in between to get the structure we need. So this will be structured like that. This will equal to this, and that will be the current date. Using the date and presuming that is in the structure of our date, we can insert it into our table here. The last one is gender, and since I'm a male, I'm putting in M for male. Presuming that will work, we can run this. But before that, we could say or die at the end, followed by a MySQL error. I will skip that for now, but feel free to add them if you like. Okay, so refreshing our page. What you see is from the last tutorial. Let's comment this out. Let's ignore this. This will completely ignore this part of tutorial. Okay, so back to the code and that I am currently showing, and let's refresh. I've refreshed it twice, so accordingly 2 records have been put in. But by going back to browse and scrolling down, we can see, let's delete one of these, we can see data 1 just specified has been put into the database. In fact, what I have done is, I have put my date of birth as the current date, which I didn't mean to do. I don't want my date of birth as a current date because I was not born today. My first name is okay, my last name is okay, my gender is fine. We can see that my ID is 6 at the moment, and the next time we insert a record, this would go up to 7 and then again to 8. You should know that by now. Next, what I'll show you is how to change my date of birth because I have made a mistake. So first I will comment these two lines so we don't have to rerun this. And I'll create a new variable. We will just comment this as update data. Current variable called update, and that's equal to MySQL query function. And inside the parameter that we are calling is MySQL query code itself. And here we will type update, and we are going to say the table name, which is people. Then we will say set, and we need to pick a particular field in which to set. This happens to be the DOB, and that's equal to my actual date of birth, which is 1989, the year I was born in, and the month is November, and the day I was born is 16th. By running this command, what we are actually doing is we are updating everyone's date of birth in this table to this. That's because we have not specified where we want to update this. But what we can do is, after this, we can say where ID equals 6, because my unique ID is 6. Let's have a look here. Otherwise, I will update everyone else's. Remember, I said the ID is unique. It's better to say update my ID. What I could do instead is say where first name equals Alex. However, this will update every record that has first name Alex. But we can also say and last name equals Gareth. However, if we will have two people in the database with the first name and last name, we are still running the same risk as before. So it's better to use our unique, and that's the keyword unique ID, which for me is 6. So at the moment, you can see that my date of birth is set to 2009, which is the current date. But by refreshing this page, nothing's happened because we are just running a command. Now if we click on browse to refresh and we scroll down, we can see that it has changed to what we specified and everything else has been left intact. So if you need to update data in your database or anything like that, you can specify what data you want to update. I use DOB, and that equals to the date of birth that was necessary. I could have updated my last name. You also need to specify where you want this to be updated. So I said this record, which is this long line here. These are called records, and I specify where the ID was equal to 6, and that has updated my unique record. So that's what you have learned, how to insert values and also how to update some values if you get it wrong, like I did, or if you just want to update some data, which happens most of the time when you're doing your databases. Okay, so join me in the next part to find out how to start reading from your database and display the data to the user. See you soon. This is Joshua Matthew dubbing for the Spoken Tutorial project.